future home of Super Bowl 56. There's a look at SoFi Stadium just south of downtown Los Angeles. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Los Angeles Chargers. Tucker McCann's got it set up and ready to go. And off we go to wrap up this Sunday of action. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. On play action, it's Brady. Dumps it off to Forsett. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game. And you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
On second down, Forsett. And good pursuit yet again by the Chargers as they stuff him behind the line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. Forsett. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Now a handoff, running right, Forsett. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Now they'll throw with Brady. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Chris Godwin with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bucs have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Chargers, nothing.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry. Well, this defense for the Buccaneers, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
Again to Henry. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
Taken in at the 22. It'll be a 39-yard punt. Give them a good 10 yards on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Brady. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Kenneth Murray. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched the playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Herbert off of play action. Oh, tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. Past the 20. 5, and it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Now this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills?
Oh, pass.
Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw here, Herbert. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Shaquille Barrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Play action. It's Herbert. He's going deep for Brown. And he fires one that's intercepted. Blocked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Bucs are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
And showcasing those strong legs on that run, getting through one tackle. Now she winds up getting 8 there. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Chargers, nothing.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now a play fake. Brady. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved, because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Doug Costin in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Brady. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. This offense, Charles, we've talked about how well they played all season. Sitting now at 13-0 with a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, it was something like 4 of their last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Michael Davis. And the Chargers are going to get the football here at their own 23. Well, you know, this offense has had their way for the most part here in this first half, but that time, maybe they got a little greedy.
Well, it is hard to blame them, isn't it? Because like they said back in the 1980s, greed can be good. Stick with what's been working. But that time, I think you got a little bit too much air under that one, and it turned into a turnover that was much needed by that defense.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he'll throw this one away, but I don't think he was out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. After the penalty, it's Henry. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. Here's Ty Long now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Brady and the Bucs now with a 1st and 10 at their 38. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively, and it's 2nd down.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
On 2nd and 10, Brady. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Letting one go deep here for Gronk. And that'll be incomplete. Now they took their shot, but the coverage up to the task, and it forces a 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game. I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First and foremost,
hold on to it.
Take care of the football. That's all he needed to do.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now Forsett trying to get outside. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A great effort there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And it's now 21-0.
Chargers, nothing.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 at the 24.
1st and 10 at their own 24-yard.
The Charger drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
2nd and 10. They'll try the right side with Henry. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
This is taken at the 18. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They start on the ground with Forsett. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That really sets him back. A loss of 6. So a nightmare start to the drive as they're already staring at 2nd and long. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. It's caught by Mike Evans. Hook up of 15 yards there. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Play action. Now it's Brady. And a first hookup with his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. And I put my first tally mark next to the Brady to Gronk counter here.
I think it may be the first of many, because once they get going, look out. Things tend to snowball. Tom Brady trusts Gronk as much as any receiver I think he's thrown to in his career. And it's evident when you see that.
And that's saying something.
That's saying something right there. But he's earned it.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. They'll run it here. This is James White. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Brady's throw complete here, pulled in by Howard.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Brady now on first down. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw again on second down, Brady. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Again, they'll throw with Brady. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And Brady's throw there, incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And out of bounds right around the 20. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Brady going to throw. That's caught by Howard. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And Gay knocks this one through. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Chargers going to get the football first here in the second half, and they trail as we get back underway. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And they're going to bring him down just past the 15, and a flag down as well. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
Now a handoff to Henry. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
They'll run it again with Henry. And this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Herbert. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Malik Jackson able to record his 5th sack of the season. Here's Ty Long now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And he'll try and hurry the kick, gets it away, but it's not looking that great. And certainly not the greatest of kicks there. This one will be down inside their own 40-yard line. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. A give, this is 4th, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
On 2nd down now, it's White, and he'll be taken down at the 34.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Tom Brady trots off on 4th down, and on comes kicker Matt Gay. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. Gay's kick is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So little by little, the better of these two sides starting to become more and more apparent.
3 points is not a knockout blow in the 3rd quarter, but when the other guys haven't shown they can do anything, they don't have any points, this is looking pretty good. Maybe not a knockout blow, but a good stiff jab, that's for sure.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2nd down at 4. Herbert. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Malik Jackson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. A check down here for Henry. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
We'll call that a 41-yard punt. The net a little greater, though, following a loss on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Heavy 2.
On first down, this is for Seth. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Again they run. Again it's for Seth. Looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Now it's the backup Mariota. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Right here, right here.
Henry again on 2nd down. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Chargers on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. He's got McKinney complete to his tight end. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A 40-yard punt, no return.
At their own 45-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
At the Chargers' 29-yard line.
Good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
Here we go. Like cover.
They stay on the ground, force that again. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 105 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. And they take a knee. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
In your face.
And they will take a knee here. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? And they'll indeed take a knee. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th and goal as they look to finish this one off. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
At the 21-yard line.
Again, it's Henry. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27, no first down. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Here's Ty Long now as he's on to punt for L.A. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Here's Ty Long now as he's on to punt for L.A. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
So they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Buccaneers, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Chargers,